Thank you. I'm joined today with Todd Clark, who's the Assistant Dean of Students and the Advisor for Greek Council. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
So you're very involved in Greek life on campus. You're actually in charge of Greek life on campus.
I advise Greek life on campus,
Okay,
not really in charge of it.
What exactly does your job entail when it comes to Greek life?
The main role is the advisor to the Greek Council. So in that role, I'll advise the Greek Council Executive Board, make sure that the Constitution for Greek Council is being followed, and also in the role of working as the advisor to Greek life in general, I feel like I'm a support for all the organizations as they have individual concerns or individual things that can help with their just development as leaders and development as an organization.
All right, and what are some of the challenges of your job? You've been doing this for 2 years now almost, so.
This is my second year, yeah. The challenges in the early stages has just been getting to understand the organizations here. It is an entirely local organizations, and so I was very familiar. All the other campuses I've worked at were nationals, and so I've understood those traditions very well, and they're very similar from campus to campus. And you come here and it's a whole new world, and they want to know that I understand and appreciate those traditions and support them before they're really going to trust me as individual students. And so that would say is some of the just the beginning transitions, just getting to know people and getting them to understand how I want to approach things and how I'm gonna respond and how I'm gonna act.
Okay. Now you said you had experience on other campuses where there were national sororities and fraternities. What kind of experience did you have on those campuses?
I've worked around Greek life and worked with them for almost every campus I've been at. Going back to my first job was at Kansas State University and ran an all-male residence hall that had all traditional freshman all-male stereotypes put upon it. And their recruitment for sororities happened prior to the fall opening of their freshman year. So all the women would come a week in advance to school, and they didn't want any of them staying in their own room, so they put them in our building. You had 600 women all going through a sorority recruitment together in one building, and I've never seen more stress than I've seen at that moment in my time, the night before bids went out in those sororities. So you start to understand Greek life a lot more going through that process, and then continuing on advocating for and successfully running a process to hire a director of Greek life at my last institution, working very closely with them on a number of initiatives there to help improve their chapters as well. And I really looked forward to when I saw the job and said I would get to really be the key person advising Greek life here. It was an exciting thing for me to be able to do.
All right, now Emory Henry is just wrapping up what we call Rush, where all of the students who are interested in Greek life get an opportunity to see all of the sororities and fraternities, obviously, and kind of check out what they're about. And then at the end of this week is running of the bulls and bid turn-in when Pledge Week starts. Now, what makes Emory Henry College's Greek life so unique?
Well, I think that the BTI Day is a unique process all to itself. I mean, I know no campus has something like that that's that public of announcing their intentions to go to a sorority, for instance, and it really brings the whole community out. And there's stuff like that I'm like, never seen that before. And I think there's also some real pride in that they're the only member of that type of a sorority or fraternity here on this campus. I hear that from a lot of our members, really appreciating that. And it also, I think, strengthens our connections to our alums. Emory is very proud of their connections to their alumni, and I think that Greek life is a big part of that because they realize that there's not this broad national umbrella to support that organization. If it is to exist and it is to be successful, they have a duty to support their organizations, and they do it very well.
So why is Emory only local sororities and fraternities? Most schools have national sororities and fraternities with very big governing bodies, and there's the same organizations at every campus, but Emory Henry only has local sororities and fraternities. Why is that?
I don't know. I really don't know. I asked that question, that was the first question I asked Dean Gorley in my interview here. I was like, you have a rule that denies nationals from even existing on this campus. Why is that? Why is it such a strong rule against it? And she had said they had researched it through the archives of the college as part of the Greek Life Task Force, and there was a change that happened when that rule was established long ago, and they're not sure why that change was put in place.
All right. Why is Emory, what are the benefits of this system and the challenges that are faced with that?
With having a local system? I think some of the benefits is the uniqueness that they certainly provide, like I mentioned, the alumni connections and all of that. I think some of the challenges is that I've really seen a much stronger leadership development program wrapped around fraternities and sororities at national organizations. I've also seen some broader networks that when people want to go off and work in different cities around the country, they're able to connect very quickly with a fraternity or sorority network that helps them find housing, even find jobs, find friends, social outlets in those foreign cities they've not been to before. And that strength can't be there when you only have one chapter.
Right. Now, what do these organizations contribute to the college, and what do they contribute to the community? It's something that people don't always see is that we're actually contributing.
Right, absolutely, and I think that I've been trying to work with them to celebrate some of the positives of that. We're trying to establish an awards program for Greeks this year to celebrate the good things they're doing around service and scholarship and leadership on this campus. Last year, I think we saw with the Blitz Build that the App Center ran, there was a great number of hours that were a volunteer service that was done by our Greek chapters, and they celebrated that. And that's not something that I think the whole community really embraces all the time. And they really provide a great social outlet for Greeks and non-Greeks on campus. There is something that provides, if you want to find something that's fun going on, generally the Greeks are going to be around it somewhere. And sometimes too much fun, and I get to be involved with that as well. But you know, we've got an idea this fall about putting on a midnight golf event, for instance. And I had thought this summer playing golf that I just love to see glowing golf balls all over our golf course. I thought to make it an intramural event because my job encompasses intramurals. And then I thought more about it and said, you know what, who would make this really cool and fun? The Greeks would. And so they're really excited about it, and they're going to put it on, I think, this fall. And I'm really excited just to go out and watch it happen and hope nobody gets hit with a glowing golf ball.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I should wear a helmet. What are some of the basic rules and guidelines? Just, you know, the very basic things that Greek life has to abide by.
Sure. If to be a member, you've got to have at least 12 hours at Emory Henry. So for transfer students, that first semester is meant to be a transition to the college. Finish those 12 hours, and same for first-year students. First-year students in the spring semester can rush. They have to have a 2.75 GPA to do that, showing that they've really handled the academic load, can be successful to do that. If once you become a sophomore standing, you're able to have a 2.0 GPA, which meets the same minimum that you need to graduate, saying you're on track to graduate. As long as you're on track to graduate, you can rush and be pledged and be a member. And many organizations have active and inactive rules around maintaining that 2.0 GPA.
All right. Some members of Greek life see your position in the administration over Greek life as an enemy, as someone out for their, out for their charters and trying to disband them. What do you say to people who, say stuff like that to you, or you hear things about the organization?
I don't get into an argument about it at all. I think I ask folks to judge me by my actions. I think that I've really tried to support the values of honesty and integrity within the organizations, and how I really want to understand what their traditions are. Help me understand why you do the things you do, and the organization history and their culture here. I need to know that in order to best support them and help to bring them around. And so certainly if there are things that are not following the rules, I'm one of the people that's going to call you on it, but that's acting with integrity in my mind, and I'm going to tell you what the rules are in advance, what I'm asking you to do, what the college is asking you to do, and yes, I have a duty to enforce that. I've worked in res life for 15 years. I've had to enforce policies all my life, but when you do it in a consistent way that what they expect, students know when they're doing wrong. And so if you're doing wrong and you have something, a punishment attached to it, and it's a reasonable punishment, people understand that.
All right. Well, you've done great things with Greek life since you've been here. Our
Short time.
rush is up and everything, and all the Greek organizations are just doing amazing. And I want to thank you so much for coming on today and for doing everything that you've done for the campus. All right.
Thank you, Joanna.
No problem. And now we're going to go for the out and about. We're going to go to the harvest table to check out organic food.